Welcome back to another episode of Drink Tales. And today, it's that time of the month. Usually within the middle of the month, we do a tasting board where we compare a rum, well not a rum, today we're doing rum, but we usually compare a liquor with food and other different types of
charcuterie board.
Yes, like edible content. And after doing this for about 4 episodes, I've come up with a name for this segment, and I want to call it Tasting Notes. So, welcome to Tasting Notes on this episode of Drink Tales. And today we're doing rum, but not just any rum. We're checking out Chairman's Reserve, all the way from St. Lucia. I went with dark rum just because dark rum tends to be more flavorful. We're using Chairman's Reserve, and today on the board we have a few returning acts and a couple of new ones.
So, gotta ask you a question. With what you have here now, is there any particular reason why we're doing rum this month?
This month, on the 16th, is National Rum Day. So this episode should be coming out
roughly around that time.
Yeah, roughly around that time. I think like maybe a day or two before. So it'll be just in time for National Rum Day. And I chose Chairman's Reserve. Chairman's Reserve gets a lot of positive notes to it. I see it talked about all the time, especially on Twitter. So
Twitter is a good judge for that kind of thing.
Well, as far as alcohol Twitter or drink Twitter or whatever you want to call it is concerned.
But the rest of Twitter can burn in hell. I got you.
The rest of Twitter cannot burn in hell. But we're going with Chairman's Reserve. I thought it would be a good chance to, because I've never knowingly tasted Chairman's Reserve. I thought it would be a good chance to try it out, and what better way than to pair it with a bunch of different things going on the table here.
You may want to get a whiff of that, because get an interesting smell.
It's very potent.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into it, I will just say that judging by the back of this, because I read this earlier before we started, medium body texture leads to a mellow mix of ripe raisin fruit, tobacco, and vanilla on the finish. Going up a little bit further, the rum has a pot still richness of the nose with soft nuances of vanilla and spice while on the palate. This should be pretty good. Okay. Now, we're also going to do something a little bit different this month, because not only are we going to taste the rum in comparison with our foods today, but you are also going to make a cocktail. And I've chosen a particular rum cocktail that I think would go great with all of these foods.
And we're not going to reveal it yet until I make it, right?
Right.
Okay.
So, we don't want to just take this shot and guzzle it down, because
I'm using it for the drinks. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Okay. See what we're working with.
So, since we're talking about rum, not too long ago, a few episodes ago, I actually had some Smith & Cross on here. Very different feel from Smith & Cross.
Chairman's Reserve puts me in the mindset of a whiskey.
This is what you call a grown ass man drinking rum. This is that drink that that you smoke cigars with which is not all of that surprising considering there's
tobacco notes. I'm almost positive that this rum is crafted with that in mind. Like, I want you to smoke the fattest, flavorful cigar that you can. Reading this again, Chairman's Reserve Original is an award-winning, handcrafted blend of triple distilled pot and column still original rums. The blend was selected personally by our chairman to create an exceptional St. Lucian rum with balance and complexity.
And they don't give a name of the chairman, do they?
No, but that is why it's called Chairman's Reserve, because the chairman is like, yep, that's delicious, go with it. So, with that said, let's take a look at what we got on the board today.
While you're doing that, Al, do you want me to make the drink?
Oh, yeah, go ahead and
this won't take long to do, but, go ahead and speak your piece.
Okay, so, today we've got a few returning contenders and also some newcomers. Let's start with one of our first newcomers today. We're doing two different cheeses. The first cheese that we're going to talk about, I'm sorry, we're not going to start with a newcomer. Let's start with an old classic. We've had this on here before. Give it up for smoked Gouda. Gouda is back. And the reason why I went with Gouda is because looking online, Gouda and our other cheese and a third cheese, I'll reveal that third cheese, it was actually blue cheese. They are said to...
That's pretty weird.
Yeah, they are said to be best paired with rum, particularly dark rum. I'm glad I chose smoked Gouda for this rum, especially with the tobacco notes, because in my opinion, that really brings out the essence of cigar, rum, and cheese. Now, our other cheese that we have on the board today is Havarti. I chose Havarti for the same reasons. Some of the things I read said that Havarti, Gouda, regular Gouda, and blue cheese are kind of on the sweet side, and that works with dark rums, especially rums like Chairman's Reserve with vanilla notes and fruit notes and things like that. I guess I could kind of see it with blue cheese and maybe Havarti. We're going to taste a little bit of everything with each ingredient as soon as you're done with your special drink. Next up on the list, bananas are back. Interesting note, when I was looking up a lot of things to do with foods and rum, not only are bananas a good pairing with dark rum, but also plantains. But I went with bananas because it's a little simpler, and I also feel that with plantains, if you're going to do plantains, you should also do it with another food that we don't have on the board today, but is also a good pairing, but jerk chicken. Jerk chicken goes really well with dark rum. But the reason I didn't do jerk chicken and the reason I didn't do plantains is because if I'm going to do that with a rum, I would rather choose a Jamaican rum.
Fair.
So I left that out. I left jerk chicken out. Although I think next time we will revisit Jamaican rum and we will do jerk chicken and plantains. Just because I love jerk chicken and I love plantains. Moving on, beyond the bananas, we have almonds. Once again, we've had almonds on the show before. And I went with my favorite, honey roasted almonds. I just think almonds, you find that, especially with a lot of dark liquor, fruits like almonds go really well. Fruits and nuts, almond is a nut. They go really well with dark liquors. Next up, new to the table, pineapple. In our instance, we're using dried pineapple because I didn't want to go fresh. That's another caveat of more a Jamaican vibe, but I wanted to use it anyway, and I wanted to go dried because if you're drinking, particularly Chairman's Reserve, if you're drinking that kind of off the cuff and not in a cocktail, but you want that pineapple flavor, I think dried pineapples mixed with almonds, and maybe I didn't use raisins today, but raisins mixed with raisins as well. I think that's something that would go well. And it would also go well with our final product, which is dark chocolate. Going with dark chocolate again. Dark chocolate is another one that's always a great staple for dark liquor. And, you know, of course, rum is no exception. Dark rum is no exception. All of those different, especially within this region, all of these different flavors mesh well together. So they're always going to go good.
Not to mention, in not all rums, but some rums. And, you know, even with this as an example, those rums are going to have tasting notes that have flavor pairings with these different types of foods, or they have those same flavor pairings. So, you finished our cocktails. Yeah.
If anyone who was watching didn't get it by now, by actually seeing what you were making, what did you make?
Dark and Stormies.
All right, we're doing Dark and Stormies today.
Is there any reason why you wanted Dark and Stormy as the drink of choice?
Because it was the least. It was the. I didn't want to do rum and Coke. I feel like that's too typical, and I feel like the Coke would actually encompass the rum. And I wanted to do something that would go with the vibe of some of the stuff that was here, particularly the bananas and pineapples, and to a degree the chocolate. So that's why I chose Dark and Stormy.
Okay.
So, you know, we can taste a little bit of everything and see what we get with our Dark and Stormy. That's a strong Dark and Stormy, by the way.
Havarti goes good, but this is the Havarti. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Now, let me ask you something. Do you get sweet notes out of that Havarti?
Not too much. Ironically, because of the drink, I'm getting smoky notes. And it could be because the rum in here is really strong.
Because I just had that smoked Gouda, and the smoky notes from there mesh with the tobacco notes from the rum.
Yeah, you're right.
And yeah, the more smoky notes do come out when you match it with Havarti. Did a good job. I don't mean to pat myself on the back in front of the camera like that, but I did a good job right there. But now that our cheeses are out of the way, banana next.
I'm gonna do pineapple.
Okay. With the banana, the sweetness is accentuated.
Same with this.
So I'm assuming the same is going to be for the almonds. I don't get much from the almonds. They're kind of separate, so to speak. Finally, chocolate. That's interesting. The flavor of the chocolate is accentuated with the darker Stormy.
Yeah, those tobacco smoky notes from the rum do a lot to, I guess I want to say, enhance your taste buds to whatever flavors that all of these products put out.
Ooh, excuse me. I think of all the flavors that we used today.
A few moments later.
Of all the different foods that we used today, the biggest impact, the best pairing came from the Havarti. I know that sounds weird. But you really get a change in flavor of what stands out from that rum. And granted, this is even with this rum being mixed with lime and ginger beer.
And I would also argue that maybe the rum isn't enhancing the foods, maybe the foods are enhancing the rum.
Well, with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and sign us out.
Okay.
That'll do it for this episode of Drink Tales. Everything you see on the board today, be sure to check out. Check out Chairman's Reserve. They're delicious. And you know, try your own little pairings. Do what I do. Go online. Find out what goes with what. You can just simply Google what tastes or what flavors go with rum, and not even just rum, any kind of liquor or anything.
And I also find what helps even more is if you have charts or lists that specifically do flavor pairings, right? Just specifically, but you would most likely find it with fruits, spices, and nuts. That way, and this is for people that want to pair rums and other types of alcohol with snacks and everything like that. I mostly use it when I'm making drinks. It can be used for that purpose as well. So, you know, that's just something for you guys if you want to jump out on your own and write.
But be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell so you are notified of all new content that comes out on YouTube. Of course, we put out videos every Wednesday and every Saturday. Be sure to check us out on Twitter. Also check us out on Instagram. We're always putting stuff on Instagram. And until next time, peace.